Hello. I want to talk about how being on the internet and sharing stuff like this, it's really hard not to pay attention to the numbers. Maybe this is being to me convincing myself, but the numbers kill creativity. I'm using Ourselves to Death right now. Neil Postman primarily talks about television because that's what it makes sense. It was written in the 1985. We didn't have all this technological advancements yet. The way we digest and metabolize information was actually coming from this, I guess, new-ish technology of television. So he talks about the triviality and the unnuanced nature of television. He says, I'll try to demonstrate by concrete examples that television's way of knowing is uncompromisingly hostile to the typography's way of knowing, that television's conversations promote incoherence and triviality, that the phrase serious television is a contradiction in terms, and that television speaks in only one persistent voice, the voice of entertainment. Beyond that, I will try to demonstrate that to enter the great television conversation, one American cultural institution after another is learning to speak in its terms. Television, in other words, is transforming our culture into one vast arena for show business. It is entirely possible, of course, that in the end we shall find that delightful and decide we like it just fine. That's exactly what Aldous Huxley feared was coming 50 years ago. Aldous Huxley wrote Brave New World, and he talked about being so seduced by pleasure and losing ourselves in pleasure. That's what a lot of what Brave New World is and what his reflections were on Brave New World. So Neil Postman kind of compares 1984, which talks a lot about this captive thought beliefs you can't express, versus Aldous Huxley's, I guess, prophesizing about how we are drowning in content. But I think what Neil Postman talks about here really reflects you could really extend that to now in 2026 about our relationship with the internet and how internet content is promoting, if something is not entertainment or is not uniform in the way that we recognize the patterns, then it is not for me. It's uncomfortable and I don't want it. And it kind of is reminding me how these numbers and these metrics are such an important way for you to measure yourself as someone who's creating, to fit into the mold of what a creative is supposed to be like. What is important to other people and what you deem to be important to other people basically shapes the public discourse. And obviously he's using television because this was written in 1985. Sometimes the sheer quantity of content that we are exposed to makes us think we're not worth sharing our life on the internet. I pay attention to subscriber count, even unknowingly, because that is almost a metric of how good I am doing. It's a validation. I think there is intricately, the numbers are so linked with how good or worthy these videos are. I know I have a few folks that just came in and subscribed because of the one video that I posted around surveillance capitalism. And I think one of the things about the internet and videos like this, there's almost this need to do something with those numbers. Oh my God, I got all this attention. Now I have to continue to make video essays that are informative and are weighed the same at the same time. And when I lose 1 or 2 subscribers because the new video doesn't fit what the previous subscribers subscribed to, I'm oh, maybe I'm not giving them what they want. But I just want to say, the tagline of my channel is called Let Failure Annihilate Me. I made this channel because I wanted to share things that are informed by my life. And some of the time, it's quite literally me cleaning and having an existential crisis. Other times it's things that I found to be interesting. Other times it's construction of ideas and thoughts based on like community and friendships that I'm experiencing. Sometimes when we expect a uniformity in the content that we're consuming, even like the way that people create like a manufactured idea of like who they are and what the expertise are, sometimes on the internet feels really weird to me, because I'm like, oh, my thumbnail has to have consistent color, like branding. Like I love comms and stuff like that, but sometimes like that is all a tool of like us trying to like blend in and assimilate onto the algorithm, so the algorithm can recognize and be like, this is a video essay that you might find interesting. But if the title doesn't have consistency, or it doesn't look like what you posted from 2 weeks ago, people lose interest. Their attention is not something that you can capture, and I'm not interested in capturing people's attention. I'm interested in talking about my life and hopefully like meeting with people that might resonate and have had very similar ideals and values to what I'm thinking. Sometimes like we have to kind of understand like what is the purpose of starting this channel. The point of this channel is to share my life, to share my ideas, to have a dialogue with people and with myself a lot of the time about the things that are developing. Because sometimes like, you know, I'm having like an idea and I pick up a book, I'm like, oh my god, that's exactly what I've been thinking about. Like I've been in this era of understanding what techno-feudalism is and how we are essentially stifled by the amount of content that we are bombarded with and drowning within. And I think sometimes there is an expectation from the audience that consumes it, even with a channel that's small. Also, I don't consider this small. I think like 500 people just like saying like, I am interested in what you have to hear. Like imagine if I have a room and I'm trying to fit all those 500 people, that's gonna be a crammed room. So I just want everyone to think about sometimes the internet plays with the perception of what's real. And also, if my video from last week looks very different this week, I don't have a content strategy, because what I'm making is not really content. What I'm doing is just sharing my life on the internet. Maybe not all part of the life, but I don't have like a lighting setup or anything. I want the sound to be good so you can hear me, and I want the lighting to be okay. Our brain is practiced at this point to know like, also look at this glass kettle I got from the thrift store. The point is, I'm not really interested in uniformity, consistency, or content strategy for this channel. Because why? That's just feeding to the ideas and the strategies that this whole institution wants me to do. And it's not really necessarily about YouTube. I think about, as someone who I consider myself to be an archivist, I consider myself to be someone who likes to have permanence in some way. This is my way of doing permanence. And I had like over 100 people subscribe to my channel from that one video. I think there is this expectation of, okay, now I'm gonna do like informative video essay type of videos from now on. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes it's videos like this where I am having like meta-analysis about like why I'm doing YouTube. Other times I'm talking about cleaning the house. Other times I'm making travel content. I don't want a content strategy on purpose. I don't have uniformity on my channel on purpose. It's not that I'm incapable of doing it. I just don't feel like that is the way of... There's still like, when that happens, in my opinion, I think there's still like a containerizing or like limiting what I am able to do with my creativity. And I don't want those barricades and barriers to be built by me based on the perception that people have about my channel and what I am able to share on this YouTube channel. Again, let failure annihilate me, as Clarice Lispector said, because I truly, truly believe that I'm not going after success in the traditional way. I'm just trying stuff, and I'm just doing it in a way that's public. When you are with a friend or you like share values and ideals, you are expecting those conversations to be shaped differently. You're not talking about the same thing every time. You are getting a different glimpse of this person. I'm not a video essayist, like that's not who I am. I talk about things that I'm interested in an essay format because I like to yap. And then also my work allows me to have a more reflective spaces to do this. Therefore, I'd like to share with people that may have very similar ideas and thoughts about these things and kind of articulate it in those ways. It's informed by my life and it is a reflection of where I am in my mind. In 5 years, what I'm talking about right now may look and sound different, but the essence of it is I'm just trying stuff out and I'm just figuring it out as I go. I'm not an expert in anything. Like, I'm not qualified to talk about all pieces of like a subject that may interest in one person or another, and they are expecting a specific content from my channel. I think sometimes when I am on a channel, I'm going in with an expectation of how this channel is gonna be like. So when a creator shifts the way they create something, I'm just like, whoa, that's not what I subscribed for. And sometimes the internet makes us forget we are looking at real people, especially in this like a non-commodified spaces. Like YouTube is not my job. And I'm not trying to make YouTube my main job. I place such importance in my life outside of YouTube. I am not striving for YouTube to be my main job, but that is not the intention for my creation of this channel. It's an expression, it's a experimentation, it's a place for me to just brainstorm things out loud. And I hope that feels good and it doesn't feel too scary. New or like older subscribers, I appreciate you for being here. I hope you're okay with not knowing what comes next and just allowing things to be and not striving for uniformity and predictability. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.